It's all good.
Hello. Sorry for the delay. I had some internet issues, which the whole internet went down. It's very stormy here in London. So you're on my channel. Hi, I'm Abby. If these lovely ladies would like to introduce themselves and maybe mention what they're currently reading.
Yep. Hello, I'm Vish from Books with V, and I'm currently reading the best book in the world, in my opinion. That is The Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I'm almost done with it, and I'm in heaven right now because I love this book so much. Does Kisty Allie want to go? Sorry. Oh, having technical issues.
Okay.
Oh, no, Joanna, yeah.
I think I'm good. Good. Yes, it's working.
Joanna, Ali, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Joanna. I'm from the channel Joanna Souza. I've been on BookTube. I was on BookTube a long time ago, and then I deleted all my videos because I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I was like, wait, fantasy's a thing? Okay. And so I've been back for since June, I think. And so I mainly talk about, fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi. I'm trying to discover that genre still, but mainly adult fantasy. That's my favorite genres to read. And I am from Luxembourg, so not too far from where Abby is right now.
A little bit of a way, but...
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but not as far as Australia, so...
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Same continent, I guess.
Yes. Almost same time zone.
Yes, just an hour apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Vish, you're like 8 hours ahead?
I think so. It's like 10 p.m. So probably, yeah.
Yeah. The very end of your day.
You're always in the future.
I am. I always am in the future.
Although I guess we're always in the future of the US.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not sure what's happened to Ali. I don't know where she's disappeared to. Looks like we've all been having internet issues, it seems, apart from this. It's just got the perfect internet connection currently.
Hopefully there's nothing wrong to it because it has been stormy here as well.
Well, we could dive in with our first Would You Rather, and then hopefully Ali will come back and be able to introduce herself. Everyone's channels will be linked down below, by the way, so you should check everyone out. So the quiz that I have found to use is the BuzzFeed's The Hardest Game of Would You Rather for Book Nerds.
Nice.
And I think it was the word hardest that really attracted me to it because, all those superlatives really attracted my eye.
Right.
So the question is, would you rather have a friend who loses your books or one who dog ears them?
Easy. Dog ear them.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as they get back, it's fine.
Yeah.
My
mom dog ears all my books.
If they lose them, then they might have to buy me a new one, and then that new one would be like pristine and lovely.
But what if they get an edition that doesn't match the other books you have?
Oh.
Yeah, I've thought this through. You get the wrong size ruin, and then your whole Faithful and the Fallen set doesn't match anymore. That would be horrible.
This sounds like some personal experience.
I mean, I'd hope I wouldn't be like giving out my really nice books to people if I didn't trust them.
I sometimes prefer just to buy people books, be like, you really want to read this? Here, buy it. I'll buy it for you.
Yeah, so if they were buying me the new book in the exact same condition, then I'd rather they lose it. But if it was like, if I'd given them a really nice hardback and then they bought me a mass market paperback in return, then that does not work.
Yeah.
I'm not like Alan. I don't approve of mass market paperbacks in my collection.
No, I don't understand that.
I have a few for romance, but that's pretty much it. Nothing else.
I have the Song of Ice and Fire ones that I got at people were throwing them away, and I just grabbed them out of the throwaway section. And then the spines are broken. I'm like, oh, they'll just be for an addition to my collection. Hey.
Hi. Hi, Ali. Do you want to just introduce yourself, and then we were just doing the very first question.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Suddenly it's not working. It wants to be sympathetic with Abby.
Oh no.
My channel is to read, so thanks for having me, Abby.
Oh, no problem. So the first question that we just did was, would you rather have a friend who loses your books or one who dog ears them?
Loses them.
2-2.
Okay then.
Wait, why? It's just a dog ear. What if they lose it? Like, so what we were saying, what if they then replaced it with like a really wrong edition, and then you have like no more matching books on your shelves? That would be horrible.
Or what if it's like gifted?
Well,
and then you lose that gift.
If it's, what do you mean? If it's a gifted copy, I wouldn't let them borrow it. And if it's a special edition, I wouldn't let them borrow it. But if it's a regular edition, I'd let them borrow it. And if they wanted to replace it, I would tell them exactly which version I wanted. And if they didn't want to give me that version, I would buy it myself.
And they would no longer be your friend, I assume.
They would be my friend, but they would be a friend that I let borrow books. Although all my friends that read, like, treat books like they're, sacred items, so I trust them.
Good friends that you have. Yeah. I was once that terrible friend who borrowed a book. My friend doesn't even know this, but she's not watching this, so it's fine. And I was reading it at school, and it was like my lunch break, and I dropped a whole lid of ranch on it. Like, when you have those salads and there's like tiny sauces, and you open the lid and like the lid fell like on the book, and I was like, ranch on her book, and I like dried it. And then every time I was reading it, I could smell the ranch. I was like, please, she won't smell it, please. And then she didn't.
Should I spray it with perfume afterwards? Like, just make it smell nice.
Oh, wow, what did you do to my book? Oh, Yeah, I felt terrible.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done that. I mean, like, I've borrowed library books indefinitely before. Like, we've got books that I took out of the library as a child, and then I think my mum had to buy them from the library because I dropped them in the paddling pool.
That's so cute, though.
The book had to come with me everywhere. Like, it had to come. It had to come in the paddling pool. It had to come in the bath. It just had to stay with me. Like, I had to read it.
100% relatable.
Okay, the second one is: would you rather secretly love a book everyone else hates, or secretly hate a book everyone else loves?
The first one.
Yeah, secretly love a book.
Yeah, I think so too. Because
Although
if I hate it,
I think I'm very vocal on whether I love or hate books anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, I love Sarah J. Maas, and everyone hates her, so.
Yeah, I feel that way about Sarah J. Maas books. I'm like, what do you mean, Sarah J. Maas? I don't know her.
Yeah.
Secretly.
And then here's me like, this is my favorite book of all time, please.
Loud and proud.
Yes.
The book
obviously.
is so good, though. Like, especially when you read it after reading the first book. It's like such a step up. I just still wish Alan would read that one. Because, I'm
doing a reading vlog for it, and I've compared the two, so hopefully he watches it and then he reads it, but I highly doubt he will.
I mean, it would just be, he'd still critique the amount of like flowers or colours or gemstones that are mentioned throughout it, I'm sure.
At least there's no Baldric mentioned, which is great.
I never noticed it, I cannot reread the first one now.
Yeah, I reread it a couple of days ago, and all I see was Baldric, and I told him, and he just laughed at me.
But, I mean, like, I guess people don't know all the books that I hate, and so when it comes out, they're like, oh my god, you don't like Rage of Dragons, and I'm like, no, I don't like Rage of Dragons.
You don't?
No, it's awful.
I just thought it was okay. I mean, it was good, but not amazing, as everyone says.
Sorry, Joanna, I know you like it.
Yeah, but I'm struggling with the second one right now. So, yeah.
I have the second book, but I haven't gone to it yet.
I have to read Rage of Dragons, and that's like on my list this year. So we'll see how
Well, we'll see what side you fall on.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the second book, if that's not obvious.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I'm not really very secretly hating that book.
I don't think any of us secretly hate a book, to be honest. We just say it.
Yeah, I'm just honest.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend the other day about City of, what's the fourth one?
City of Fallen Angels.
That one. It's terrible. That book is terrible. And
I think it's the weakest one, yeah.
it was so bad. And back then I was still like super generous, you know? But it's so bad when I think about it. Like it makes me so angry and I don't like it. See, like I'm also not very secretive about books. I don't like it.
I read those books all back to back. And so I can't really remember what happens in each one because I just read them in a row. So I couldn't say which one was good and which one was bad because they all blur into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, City of Fallen Angels wasn't that remarkable. That's what I was going to say. But City of Lost Souls is my favorite.
Lyra agrees. City of Fallen Angels is bad. Yeah. It is bad. Jace is just brooding the whole time. And you know what I hate? When they don't talk to each other. It's like,
I hate that.
I'm cursed. Then just say so. Just say so. Okay, people may think that you're insane because you think you're cursed. But here there's like demons, so I don't think people will think that you're weird. No. Like if I told you, hey girls, I think I'm cursed, you might think, okay. But in this world... Sorry, you can go to the next question.
The next one was, would you rather be stuck on a very long plane or train ride without a book?
I think I'll be okay with either.
I think I'd rather be stuck on a very long plane ride without a book because you have the entertainment system. So you can just watch a lot of films. I mean, I don't think I read that much on a plane anyway because I get so distracted by all the films that I would normally not be able to watch.
See, in my experience, some planes don't have an entertainment system.
Yeah.
If I were to fly back
if it's a very long plane ride, then I'm hoping that it would have an entertainment system because it's a long.
Well, me going back to Malaysia is about 5.5 hours, and there's no entertainment.
Yeah. Or if you get like a really cheap plane ticket, sometimes they'll use a cheap plane. Like it works, but it doesn't have all the like nice items like entertainment, so it won't have. Because I've flown from like the States to Greece a few times, and that's like like a 7-hour flight or something, and they don't always have. You pray for it, but they don't always have it.
See, my issue is that I get really bad ear pains on planes, so I have to have the whole, no matter how long the plane ride is, I have to have what do you call those things? Things in your ears, like earplugs.
Earplugs, yeah.
So I cannot use the entertainment system even if there is one. So I would rather be stuck on a train ride. I mean, on a train ride without a book, because then I can just look outside the window and dream. But on a plane ride, no, that would be horrible for me. I would sleep the whole time. It's also nice.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't bother me much, because either way, I'll be fine. As long as I have music, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'd survive either way. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I'd survive.
Yeah.
Barely, but yeah.
Book nerds.
And the thing, definitely with I'd rather not have it on a plane, because if I'm on a train, you also have Wi-Fi and things, so you can do other activities, whereas on a plane you don't generally have good internet connection.
True.
I mean, I know that there are planes now that have Wi-Fi, but they're few and far between.
They're not. It's not good Wi-Fi though. Like unless you pay for the upgrade, and I can only do that when I'm on like a flight for work. In which case, I will watch something. But
okay, would you rather have dinner with your favorite author or your favorite character?
Favorite character.
Yeah. Paladin Stormblessed. Please arrange this.
Anyone have any differing opinions to that, or are we all like favorite character?
Character.
Yeah.
Is it Reese for you, Vish? Is it Reese for you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you could fly with him. That would be so cool.
I would just grow my own wings. I don't need him. It's fine.
Perfect.
With these wings, would you need to train at all, or would you just have already like the strength to be able to?
Yeah, I would just automatically, just naturally, as I see him, I will grow wings, and then I'll just fly.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
I want to live in this fantasy world with you.
Me too.
Does anyone have any different characters that they would prefer to meet aside from Reese?
Yeah, I would Kaladin. I mean, I could also fly with him and Syl. That would be really cool. But Kaladin Stormblessed, that's like my favorite character. And if Andrew is watching this, yes, Andrew, he's my man, not yours, not anyone else's. We always have this like discussion in the Discord that who does Kaden belong to, and we all fight over him. So it's great.
One day I will
Should
understand.
be starting Stormlight.
Yeah. But you know, I would also kind of like to have, but I don't know if I would have dinner with this character, but like all the animal companions that you get in every book, you know, like Storm from Faithful and the Fallen, like
What, like a little tea party, like from Alice in Wonderland?
with wolves. That would be so cute.
That's
They would
so
probably eat
cute.
me, but that's okay. I'll be your fodder. It's fine. It's so cute.
I mean, there's just so many characters I'd want to meet. Like, you can't just say one. I'd be like, I'd have a whole dinner party with them all.
That would be so cool. Like a big
That would be
like,
cool.
Christmas dinner or something, you know. Well, it doesn't have to be Christmas, but whatever. Like a huge party with all the characters.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'd want to go where they are.
Would you though?
I wouldn't want to have it. I wouldn't want to have dinner here. I'd want to have dinner like, you know, I'm sure Vish would want to have dinner in Valaris than in like,
Okay, yeah, obviously.
you know, where she is. Even though I'm sure it's beautiful, but
I mean, I don't want to host this dinner.
I
You
don't
don't
want to cook
host
it.
no, I don't want to host it either. I don't want to cook. I
And
just
this
want
place? No.
Valaris takeaway. All the angels will bring you. All the females bring the food.
it can be store bought. It's fine.
Hey, Ariel. Hey, Lyra. Deborah. Elizabetta. Nice to have you here.
They also agreed that they would rather have dinner with their favorite characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel as though an author is more like, it's more likely to happen.
Right? Valaris.
It's not going to happen, but there's like a chance
There.
that I could have dinner with them in real life.
That's true. And what if you
Just to
disappoint
answer
them?
Ariel's question, Alan wouldn't.
Yeah, eat it.
No, he would not.
But I mean, he hasn't met. Well, not met, but he hasn't like been to Valaris yet. So he doesn't. He might still want to visit it.
Probably just look at it in disdain and he says no.
Mm-hmm.
I
Turn his
think
nose
he's
up at
like
it.
on principle. At this
Too
point.
many leather men.
But he likes fairy lights because he still has his Christmas tree up. So I think maybe he would like it there.
Maybe.
I mean, it just seems like a great place.
Yeah.
Either way, it seems like a great
Agreed.
place.
I mean, who wouldn't want to like enjoy Starfall, right? Like that just sounds awesome.
Like,
That's true.
sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I read it this morning.
Such a good scene.
So Abby and Ali, who would you guys want to eat with? You didn't.
Oh,
I don't know. I think I would just want to go to Valaris and eat with everyone. Like I don't have like, I wouldn't want like one person at like a French restaurant in Boston because that'd be kind of boring. I would want like a lot of people, and I would want to be able to like immerse myself in their atmosphere.
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just. I don't know. I want a lot of characters. I mean, I've just been thinking about Malice, so I'd like a whole like dinner party with all of the characters from The Faithful and the Fallen.
Also Lycos, or whatever his
No,
name is.
no, he's not invited.
No, good.
He is banned. He's on the blacklist.
He can't sit with you.
Yeah,
I love it.
he didn't get the memo.
No.
But and like everyone from the David trilogy.
Oh, I imagine eating there. That would be so good.
Yeah, and Vish, you have to. Well, I don't know if you've read it, Ali, but
I haven't read that series yet. I've heard so much about it, but I've been like prioritizing a few other ones recently.
well, I love the David trilogy.
It's really good.
Yeah, I would definitely go for dinner there. I feel like all the food there sounds really good when she describes it in the book.
It's Egyptian based, right? So yeah, their food is.
When you read it, let me know. I would totally reread it.
Oh yeah, I will tell you. Yeah,
Perfect. What do you read?
so many.
Would you
That's
rather
so-
date the character you have a crush on or your crush from real life?
A character.
Character. I already have one. Fine.
Literally just dropping Sam for Reese.
Yeah,
Which one's not on here?
he understands. They're both the same people. It's fine.
Aw.
That's actually really sweet.
That's why this is my favorite book of all time. It just reminds me of him. That's essentially why.
I have to say, like, my person is Cassian when I read, like, Equitar, and I love Cassian, like, more than any of the other ones. And I feel like my boyfriend is very much like Cassian, too. Just, like, a big goofball, but, like, really serious when he has to be.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes my husband reminds me a little bit of Kaladin, just in the sense that he also likes to protect people, and he will go very, very far for the people he loves and just do anything for them. So I'm like, oh, you know. But he cannot fly. He doesn't have a sprint, so I guess I would still stick with him. And sorry, Kaladin. Okay, Andrew, you can have Kaladin now. So,
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's tricky because like like my boyfriend, I know him very, very well, whereas you do know characters well, but you don't know them like personally. You have like their ideal, generally, what you see in the book. You don't see all their like stuff going on behind the scenes.
That's true.
Like what Lyra is saying. I want to say character, but ultimately I couldn't ditch my partner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't. Actually, it's our anniversary tomorrow. It's our 4-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Is it 4 or 5 years, Fish?
4.
4.
4.
4.
I love it. We did a weird math the other day. We're like, oh, in 3 years, it's going to be 10 years since we're married. I'm like, or it's just like 7 years, you know? It's really weird.
Would you rather have your favorite book turned into a movie or your favorite movie turned into a book? That's
A book into a movie. Not
book into a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I don't need a movie turned into a book.
No.
I doubt the book would be very good.
I know some movies do it, or some TV shows do it. I'm not sure.
I know that some TV shows will turn it into a comic book if they're like very action packed, but I've never heard of them turning it into like a novel, like a chapter book. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Sam.
Not the same Sam, by the way. It's different Sam.
Different Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, happy anniversary. Oops, no.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Thanks.
That this is true. We were talking about this yesterday because so my husband doesn't really read, but when he reads, he sees everything. Okay, like he sees all the details, and therefore he never forgets anything. And I'm so jealous, but I don't really see everything, and so I would love to see it happen on screen. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah,
Because I see everything in my head whenever I read, so I have like a full movie going on in my head.
that's cool.
Which is weird to think that not everyone has that. I didn't realize it until people started pointing out. I was like, oh, okay.
Wait,
I
what
thought
do
everyone had it.
wait, so what are the different stages of imagination when it comes to reading then? Because I don't have like a totally full movie, but it's very much kind of like that.
I
For
get
me,
like
it's yeah. For me, it's like it's a full thing, but I can't picture. Like I can see everything, but I can't see their faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a blur for their faces, but everything else I can see.
I generally have myself as like one of the protagonists. I sort of have to put myself in there.
You're
Perfect.
I think it's just because if you're reading from a character's point of view, I'm like, well, that's me then.
It helps you like relate.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they have done like continuations, haven't they? Like I haven't seen Buffy, but I think they continued the Buffy TV show with a comic, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, with comics and also Avatar: The Last Airbender as well. They continued it through comics as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to get my hands on those.
Yeah, me
Me
too.
too.
I need to
Buddy
watch
reads.
the original TV show.
Buddy watch.
It's so good. I binged Avatar. It's so good.
That's
Same.
so
I binged it in like 3 days.
Yep.
I couldn't stop.
So
It
good.
was so good. In the beginning, I was very, how do you say that? Like hesitant, that's English. And I was like, I don't know. And then we started it and it was so good. So cool.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be expanded more if it was going to be a book. And I just feel as though like you'd have to have a really good writer
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Because I feel as though it would be a bit of a flop if it was written badly
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
as a money grab.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm very excited that Rick Riordan is writing the script for his Percy Jackson show. Because I think that'll be good.
Yeah, that is good. Because the first movies that came out were not.
Yeah, no, he hates it too, so that's great.
I think I saw the first movie before I read the book. Like, I never read the Percy Jackson books as a child, and I never finished the series because I started reading them as an adult and just stopped after book 3.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
I don't think I really realized like how bad the film was because of never having read the books.
Yeah, I've never seen either. My sister read all the Percy Jackson books, but I feel like she's a little bit younger than me. So I think when they were coming out, she was like that perfect age, and I never picked up. I also think you guys know that I didn't read young adult when I was a young adult, so I don't think I picked up a lot of these old young adult type of stories. So, but I heard it's good. I heard it's really interesting.
Sam has asked what we're all reading before we continue on to the next question.
Well, tomorrow, magic study. Very excited. And this today.
Oh, that everything's planned.
Yes. Because we're all buddy reading it, which is great.
And that is awesome, yeah.
I'm so excited for magic study tomorrow.
Is it the
Thanks.
first book?
That's the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Poison Study is the first book, yeah. I'm currently reading, so on audiobook, I'm listening to Hall of Smoke, which just came out in January. That's the last month. So far, it's okay. I am not into it enough to know what I think, but I'm almost done with The Invisible Life of Adi Larue, which I'm really, really liking. So
Oh, yay!
yeah, I'm loving it. I'm trying to postpone reading Ruin. That's what I'm doing, actually, because I
Why
think I'll
would
get,
you postpone reading Ruin?
because I know I'll get my heart broken.
Don't say anything because I haven't read Valor yet.
Sorry.
So I don't want to be spoiled.
Nope.
Well, don't say anything because I haven't read Malice yet. So don't say anything.
What are you reading?
Oh, well, Sam looks to have been reading Dread Nation.
Ooh, good.
Other
At least
Sam
he
has
loved it.
arrived. Ariel is reading Law.
I like that you just had your review of that.
Clara's reading Six of Crows. Deborah's reading Jade City. Ember in the Ashes. I'm reading The Archive of the Forgotten, which is the second book in the Library of the Unwritten series. And I'm not enjoying it nearly as much as I hoped to.
No.
I'm very sad about.
Just finished the Gilded Ones, and I am getting further into Wildcat, so that's exciting.
I need to start that.
Rima's reading City of Miracles. Oh, yay.
Woohoo.
And Sue's reading Age of Myth.
Ooh, I've heard good things about that.
Reading Red Rising. So many different books for what everyone's all reading.
Yeah.
It's funny because you know kind of like which buddy reads are where. Like, you know, this is
Yes.
from Alice and the other one is from Deshawn. We're all just
Exactly.
lovers.
So many books.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you?
What were you reading, Ellie? Sorry.
I just finished Gilded
The
Ones,
good one?
and it's amazing. Like, everyone needs to read it when it comes out. And I'm reading Wildcat, so I just got further into that. I think I'm like chapter 3 or 4, so still really early on, but I'm getting more into it, and I'm getting more into the writing too. It always takes me a couple chapters to like get used to the writing.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what my answer is.
I haven't read Winter of the Witch, so I'll agree with you.
I mean, I really like both. I mean, I think it depends what you're after. Like Winter of the Witch, you're going to have a bit more of a plot, whereas A Quarter of Frost and Starlight, you're just going to have like the
A
characters
novella with
living their life for 200 pages.
But I love it. I know everyone hates it, but I loved it.
Which I don't understand because, like, when you love the characters, you just want to spend as much time with them as you want. And I was like, this is fantastic. I love spending time with them. And everyone's like, I hated this. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're reading A Quarter of Frost and Starlight in preparation for A Quarter of Silver Flames,
Yeah.
then it's got like a good purpose to it. But also, Winter of the Witch finishes off the series as well. It's a very tricky decision.
Yeah.
I would say A Quarter of Frost and Starlight because the next one comes out in like 10 days or something. And I think that's just more important. But
And it's quick. Like, it's a short book, so you can read it in one go.
It isn't the best one though. I have to say, like, people love it because you get to like hang out with the characters, but that's all you're doing. Like, it's not really interesting. So it's just fun, fluffy.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is: would you rather read a book with an annoying cliffhanger or one where your favorite character is killed off?
That's easy.
Annoying cliffhanger. I get really attached.
I would rather my favorite character dies.
I think annoying cliffhanger because I've learned to handle that throughout these years. So annoying cliffhanger is fine.
And it depends if like the next books in the series are already out. Like if it's got an annoying cliffhanger, but you already have the next book on hand, then you could just go straight into it, and then you don't have to really like, I don't know, have that annoying cliffhanger like weighing you down.
But what if it's a series finale and it ends in a cliffhanger?
Why would they do that?
I don't think do that. Yeah.
Some people do that. Like I've read stuff like that. It ends and you're like, wait, what?
Is it like a thriller book that ends like open-ended?
No, like imagine you read a fantasy series you love and then it ends in a cliffhanger-ish thing. Would you prefer that or your favorite character dies?
Cliffhanger still. I can't deal with characters dying.
I can't.
I mean, I like this interpretation. Your favorite evil character is killed off. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, then yes.
Agree. It is satisfying. I
Then
don't
it's
think it's bad, but it's true.
Yeah. Like, it's so satisfying when someone you want to die gets killed off.
But sometimes it's just so. I mean, I'm a bit weird, but like you know the pain you feel when your favorite character dies. Like I'm still not over a certain show that ended really terribly that I will not say the name of, but that everyone hated season 8 and the books are not yet finished. But my favorite character dies, and I was like, I felt a void. I was crying at work for like a week, because it's my favorite character of all time.
Yeah, I like season 8. I'm the anomaly, apparently.
You are.
I think everyone tells me so. Everyone tells me.
Andrew, since you're here, I told you that you could have Kaladin. You win this battle.
Good morning, Andrew. I know it's very early for you, so good morning.
Oh, you already knew. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just finished rereading The Hero of Ages.
I haven't read it.
So I vlogged my reading of it, and all the way through, I'm like, oh, I remember the ending. And then I got to the ending, and I was like, what did I remember then? I remembered like half of the ending, but not the other part of it.
Did you block it out because it was so horrible? Because I do that too.
You know what?
What I'd done, I just like half remembered the ending, so I was so shocked to discover another part of it. So
sometimes I wish I could block out stuff because the other day you had your live show, Ali, with the Malice live show.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it and I heard a spoiler I think it was a spoiler because I only heard one sentence for the Wheel of Time. And I was like, I cannot watch this. It made me so angry. And I don't know if it was a spoiler or not. So I just hope that I can forget that information and hopefully it wasn't a spoiler.
If you want to message me, I mean, I read it. It was a while ago, but I don't remember any Wheel of Time spoilers.
Okay, I'll message you about this.
Yeah, it was a while ago though, but I think they were just discussing Wheel of Time tropes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Rima's happy if they die of old age.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice.
I agree with Rima.
Yeah. And Sam likes it when characters die.
See, me too. We're friends.
Oh yeah, I like it when books make me cry. I do like it when books make me cry, but I would still get annoying cliffhangers. I would never want character deaths.
I think I'm okay with the character death. I feel like if it's done well and if it has like a purpose, then I'm okay with it.
I'm more with Vish.
Dramatic death.
Really attached. Yeah. I just get
I get too attached.
No.
But what I hate is when they kill the character off and then the character comes back like the next.
Oh yeah, I hate that too.
That is the worst. No.
It's awful.
Yeah,
that's awful. Like it takes away all the stakes for the whole book, the whole series.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that, Sam.
Yeah. Ooh, I haven't finished that series, but I think I know what you mean.
Andrew is very happy to let characters die.
Oh my god, I'm scared to read your book, Andrew. Don't say those things to me.
I'm going to read your book now because of it.
I'm anxious now.
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't like that
This is the
either.
worst.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Exactly.
But sometimes it's also obvious that it's not going to stay dead. Like, it's so obvious that
Mhm.
they're not going to do it. So that's why I hate it.
I'm like, it's as though the author couldn't commit to the death. It's like they killed the character off and then they were like, oh no, that's too sad, can't do it, got to bring them back.
Yeah, I wish I need to mention
Literally,
that because I don't want to spoil anyone for certain series, but like, okay, I won't say anymore. Remind me to message you after this.
okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
It just becomes like, well, I don't believe that they're dead.
Ooh, unpopular opinion coming in.
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
love it.
actually.
Yeah, but I want to know why. Why do you like it?
Yeah.
Just
Is it
curious.
that you always want a happy ending?
Which is fine.
Probably.
We're not judging.
Yeah, obviously.
Curious.
I mean, I do really like a happy ending. Like, I always hated Romeo and Juliet because I just wanted the happy ending.
Me too. I've never met
Same.
anyone else who doesn't like who dislikes Romeo and Juliet. I hated that story. I don't know why people like
I
it.
don't like it either.
Oh well,
I don't understand the appeal.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want a happy ending.
But they're just so stupid. That's why I always hate it. You know, it's like,
one of them dies and the other one's about to kill them. I'm like, why? Oh, sorry.
I know, right? It's like, I'm going to commit suicide because she's dead. And then he dies and then she wakes up and I'm like, this is just because you're dumb. Like, you could have just waited 5 seconds and then we would all be happy and alive.
Teenagers are stupid, guys. Sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm like, why is that the one that we always study? Like, why is that the popular one? Like, why can't we read, I don't know, Midsummer's Night Dream or something else?
Because they want to show us how dumb we are at 16. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe it's not such an unpopular opinion because there's quite a lot of Romeo and Juliet.
Hey,
Well, there you go.
these are my people.
I like that we all got angry over Romeo and Juliet. That was cool.
And I'm sorry if anyone had not read Romeo and Juliet or didn't know how it ended.
I never think about classics, you know, like spoiling them because you assume that everyone
I feel
knows.
as though even if you haven't read Romeo and Juliet, you know how it ends because of the popular culture surrounding it.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a book that just came out, These Violent Delights, and it's like a retelling of it. And I'm really scared to read it because of this. I'm really scared that they'll do something so stupid that you just want to throw the book out the window. But
Yeah, I haven't wanted to read that because of it being a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I'm like, I don't want to read it because they're both going to die at the end.
So I
Well,
read.
there's a second book coming out.
Yeah,
so
I
it
read it,
shouldn't.
and I was hoping it'd be better than Romeo and Juliet. And I think it depends on if you like her writing style, if you're going to enjoy it or not.
Okay.
what sounds cool to me is like a little bit of a mafia thing. It sounds like it. I don't know.
Yes.
I read it, so that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yes, Rima, I can agree on that. Like, I do quite like it when they're resurrected and things go wrong.
That is cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that is cool. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hate miscommunication.
That's the
So-
worst. We were watching The Umbrella Academy, and then we stopped. I think we had one episode left because there's so much miscommunication in that show, and we just dropped it. We were so angry. Like I don't know. It's so bad. I hate miscommunication. It's the worst.
It's the worst trope. I'm like, why?
I know. It's so lazy, you know. Like you could just get your character, and then
Say it.
there's something interrupting them. They're like, "Oh, by the way, I have to tell you something," and then, "Oh, look, a cat." No, if they're so important, just hold them and then tell them what you have to say. Yeah, I get very angry about that trope.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Would you rather lose the ability to read any new books or the ability to reread books you've already read? Vish is there looking at her.
Can you repeat the question?
Like, oh.
Can you repeat the question?
would you rather lose the ability to read any new books or the ability to reread books you've already read? I'm giving up rereading.
I'm giving
I
up
don't like this
rereading
question.
too.
Exactly.
Wait, so that means if I lose the ability to reread, that means I would have to read this like a new book every time.
Just get amnesia.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. That's
Or
fine.
perfect
That's fine.
memory, and then you don't have to reread it. But yeah, I would also prefer reading new books than just rereading. Because imagine if you've only read like 2-star books, and then you're like, oh wait, now I'm stuck only rereading. Great.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. New book.
Yeah, like I do really enjoy rereading some things, but I generally read new books. So
Yeah, me too.
I don't
I've
reread.
always reread. I've always reread, so that's why I asked a specific question. That if I would be able to read this like a new book every time. So if that's possible, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's if you're able to reread it, or if you're just you can only look at it from now on, like it's there, finished, can't touch
Never
it.
go through it again.
I
Like every
know.
time you open it, the pages are just blank because you cannot reread it.
So sad.
That would be awful.
Sorry, that just got so sad.
You can see it, but then there's nothing there. That would be so sad.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh,
Talk about a movie, I think.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed just as much. Like I just reread the Mistborn series, and I first read them 6 years ago, so quite a long time ago. And I think I enjoyed them to the same extent. I'd forgotten a lot, so it felt as though they were pretty much new books because I couldn't remember anything, particularly the second book, which I'd completely wiped from my memory. So
Different though, because when you read it for the first time and then you reread it like soon after, it loses that like sparkle of excitement because you don't know what's going to happen. But I think if like 6 years go by, you don't really remember everything, so it's still exciting because you're not sure exactly what's around every corner.
yeah, I didn't know what was happening around any of the corners.
It's exciting though.
So it was exciting because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
You know, I have that also with movies. I forget really easily. I sometimes remember, like, of course, the big plot line. But when we rewatch Lord of the Rings, which we rewatch pretty regularly, I always forget big things. And my husband's like, I wish I had that brain because everything would always be new and shiny. I'm like, yes, but I wish I would remember that I don't have to reread or rewatch things. So it's a struggle.
oh yeah. So if you
Yes. I like this comment.
Does anyone else, like, instead of rereading the whole book, they just go and reread their favorite parts of the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do that. For me, it's like either I reread the whole thing or nothing at all. That's why it took me a year to reread this for the second time.
Because like sometimes I just want to go to like that particular scene I really like and just re-experience that one scene. Like I don't need to read the whole thing. And like when I was growing up and I had the tapes for Harry Potter, and I just have random tapes on playing all the time. So I don't know how many times I've reread it because I just have these tapes on in different parts. Like,
Right.
And I've
That's cool.
never listened to like the beginning bit or the end bit. I've just listened to like the middle section of the book.
Yeah. I've done that, like, not for Harry Potter, maybe for Harry Potter. But I've done that for other books where I've just read like one scene. I'm like, oh, I just want to read that one scene. That was so good. Back to that one spot.
Yeah. Just never letting go.
And never.
Maybe like I'm protecting the book. Got to keep it close.
You have a tattoo of it, Vish.
Not yet, but I do. But I do have this as my screensaver since I read the
Nice.
book.
Oh, I love that.
Definitely agree with that, Sam.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
I need
such
to
a
read
fun
that series.
I'm excited to see you guys, what you guys think after the third book, because I know you both have only read the first three.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what you think after.
Yeah, for all those new books that I haven't read yet. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, it's that as well.
So like when I just reread all of the Akatal series and I reread them all on audiobook. And the same with the Mistborn ones. I did read them both I had the physical books with me, but I did a lot of it on audiobook. I find like I don't know, it's quite a nice way to reread on audio.
For sure.
Because I don't normally listen to
I think I did that for Final Empire, like I think a few weeks ago, just because I needed to reread it, and I read it through audiobook, and like I finished it in like 24 hours. It was really good.
Yeah.
What is your most reread book that you have reread? Makes sense.
Probably Harry Potter, to be honest, just because I hold off rereading my favorite books too many times because I'm afraid that if I reread it too many times, I get too bored with it. So that's my issue with rereading. But probably Harry Potter and Throne of Glass and Poison Study.
All the big things.
All the big ones, yep.
Yeah, it probably is going to be Harry Potter that I've reread the most.
Yeah, same.
I'm trying to think of other books that I've read multiple times. I've read Twilight a few times.
I still haven't read that, or Harry Potter.
I read The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale quite a few times growing up.
I used to reread Goosebump books when I was younger. For whatever reason, I was very into those. Especially the ones that had like the choose your own adventure, and you decided what you were going to do next and what page you're going to go to.
I haven't read The Princess Bride.
I think I DNF'd it at one point. I'm sorry.
Twilight again.
I've only read
very different.
Or like there are things that I've reread, like the Angus Songs and Perfect Snogging books, the George Nicholson ones. I think I've read those a few times, but like the first one, or The Worst Witch. I remember rereading that a lot. I remember with the Twilight one, I was on holiday and I didn't have any other books with me, so I just reread Twilight because I was like, oh, I don't have anything else with me, so I guess I'll just start again from the beginning straight away.
It's awesome. When I was a kid, I didn't reread a lot. I didn't even read a lot. I started reading more as I was a bit older. So I think the book that I've reread the most is The Final Empire. It's like, I love that book so much.
Oh, I read a lot of growing up. I've always read.
I remember when I was a kid, one time I got books for Christmas and I was disappointed. And I'm like, who was I? What kind of stupid child was I? Now I'm like, books, just give me books for any occasion. And back then I was like, oh, books? Why would you give me books? I'm like, I'm a child.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, the Glass trilogy is pretty good too. I think they're probably on par with Poison Study as well, which is the 4th to 6th book that we would need to read before jumping off to the other ones.
Okay, moving on from rereading. Would you rather live in a library or a bookstore?
I think library. Yeah.
It depends. But
I would have. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Right?
Because library is just free, but bookstore they'll kick you out at some point.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to be kicked out of the bookstore for not buying the books. And I feel as though like libraries, you're more likely to find like comfy sitting areas where you can just chill for hours.
And you could get lost in there. You know, people wouldn't kick you out because at some point they would lose you. So library, if you have a big library, of course. Yeah.
Although, like the library where at my parents', it's not very good for the fantasy section. I think I'd get disappointed with the book choices.
Yeah, same for me here.
Whereas with a bookstore, I feel as though I'm more likely to find all the books that I want to read. And
yeah, I got new shelves, which is nice. Yeah, I got new shelves. It's great.
Those are the best.
I mean, your shelves already looked really good before.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it was packed to the brim and had no organization whatsoever. But okay.
Yes, a magical library, definitely.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, but
Yeah.
we've got quite a few people going for Bookstore here.
Hmm.
That
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but see, over here in Australia, it's just the same. Like, you can't find obscure books in the bookstore or in the library, so you lose out anyway.
I only have one English bookshop in my whole country. So they're not always the best at having everything. I go and I'm like, okay, now you order this, and then they order everything in mass things. And then
But I guess your country's quite small.
I know. Like one English bookshop for the whole country. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
Why? Yeah, but I don't want to read anything in German, so I won't do that. Or in French. It sucks.
Castle Library.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy
Castle
Castle Library.
A castle magical library. There you go. That's where we would
Like
all
secret magical rooms for the magical books.
with the magical dinners with our favorite characters.
Yeah.
We should write a book about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'd go for a real world library as opposed to a magical one. Yeah. Ooh, this one's not very nice. Would you rather lose your place or get a paper cut every time you read a book?
Lose my
I
place.
think lose my place.
Oh my god.
Why would you get paper?
Okay, why would you
Who
get
wrote
paper
this
cuts?
question?
Oh, weird.
Maybe it would force you to read in one sitting, because then you would always lose your place. And so you'd be like, okay, I'm going to read this faster.
I'll just memorize the page numbers so I don't lose my place.
I'll just reread a little bit. That's fine. I just don't want to get paper cuts.
I don't want to get paper cuts from every time. Oh, it's every time you read a book. I was thinking every time you turn a page. I was like, your fingers would be dead.
Read on Kindle, guys. Then you don't need a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was weird.
Yeah, that one's gory. Got dark there for a second.
Okay, we'll move straight along to, would you rather have to always read in the dark or always read books with tiny text?
Tiny
I think
text.
tiny text because I don't think you can even see the words in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, does that mean you have like a torch, like you're using your phone torch to like light up the book?
Because if that's the case, then yeah, fine. Because that's how I got my glasses in the first place.
Same.
Probably why I wear glasses too. I'm reading too much in the dark as a kid after lights out.
Yeah, exactly.
And did you used to keep your book like under your pillow?
Yes. Yes.
It's a safe place
And
for it.
I'd use like this little orange nightlight on the side to like read it to like 1 a.m. And I can see my parents' feet under the door. But the good thing my door has a lock, so it's fine.
Where is the worst place that you've read, like where you shouldn't read, Like an event or something?
No, I can read anywhere. Yeah, I can read anywhere. And I don't think anyone would say anything, so it's fine.
See, I did this at a family wedding. Like, I took like a 600-page book with me, and I was so bored. And so I read the whole thing, and people are like, "You can't just read at a wedding." And I was like, "But why? Do you just prefer that I stare at the blank?" I was a teenager, yeah, I was a bit sassy. I was like, "Do you prefer me to just stare at this blank wall?" No, so I might as well just read. Yeah, my family did that.
At least you were quiet.
Right? Like, I always did that too because I grew up Catholic, and so my mom, so that I would shut up in church because I would always talk. I'm very talkative. She would just bring me like picture books and she's like, "Shut up and read." So I did that.
I'm trying to think if I've ever read like anywhere where I shouldn't read. I mean, we've definitely had family gatherings and I've like disappeared into another room to read. But I'm like, they're family, they don't mind.
Your family's cool.
But I think I'd rather read a book with tiny text than read in the dark.
I like Sam's idea though. That's genius. Read in the dark on your
Yeah.
Kindle. Yeah, like probably
Change the questions.
Exactly, yeah.
Change the answers.
And you don't get paper cuts and you don't lose your place. It's perfect. The revival of the Kindle.
Yeah, I don't really mind reading tiny text. Like the actual act of reading it. Like I don't like that it takes me ages to read a book because the text is so small. But I don't actually mind reading that size text.
Yeah. If the book is floppy, because usually tiny text also means the spine is very stiff,
Yeah.
and then you have to like break the spine.
Yeah. I heard there were lots of people complaining about the size of the text in City of Stairs, whereas it was fine in the UK copy, but I think it was the US one.
Because I have the US one, and I don't think it was like small. Because I don't want you to see my hot dog shorts. It's fine. Like the text is not that tiny, is it?
No.
I don't think so.
I have a copy of Legendborn, and the text is really tiny.
I mean, this is tiny.
There we go. Yeah, that's tiny.
Yeah, this is tiny.
Really small. Oh, I'm glad I got that on Kindle. Back to the Kindle.
But yeah, I'd rather read small text.
Yeah.
See, it does break the spine, so I'm not going to read this edition because I just creased it, and that makes me sad.
Ooh, chair.
Okay. Would you rather read by a fireplace or on the beach?
Oh, fireplace.
Yeah,
Oh.
I hate the heat. I hate the sun. I hate the beach. So, fireplace.
I just automatically assumed I was in the shade.
Oh. I'll just fall asleep at the beach, or I'll want to do like things.
I always go swimming in the beach, so I think fireplace would be good.
The sound
I've
of
got
it.
many people saying fireplace.
Fireplace.
There we go.
So cozy. You get like a cup of like tea or cocoa or something.
Exactly.
The
Real
thing-
book
part of me,
nerds.
I gravitate towards saying fireplace, but I know that when I'm on a holiday, I always read a lot, either by the pool or on the beach.
That's true.
That I would, because I'm not doing anything else. Like, I don't have any commitment because I'm on holiday, so I can just sit and read without that commitment. So I think I associate the beach with reading a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Or you know when you read a book set at the beach and then you're reading it at the beach and you hear the ocean in the background? That is awesome though.
I could read it at the pool because they have like those pool chairs and you're kind of up. When I'm on the beach with a towel, I'm like laying flat on the ground and I'll fall asleep.
And yes, 100%, Sam. I would love to be on a beach right now.
Yeah. I've never wanted to leave my house as much in my life.
I mean, Vish, you're already in the heat, so.
Oh yeah, but the last 2 days has been rainy and cold and windy, and I don't even know because it's supposed to be summer here. So I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, it does look as though there is a lot of people that like to read indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
And it does depend on the weather.
And to
Like, I
quote,
wouldn't
because
be
you don't
buying
wanna go in
fireplace
winter.
in the summer.
yeah. And like Anakin Skywalker would say, I hate sand. It gets everywhere. And that's true. It does get everywhere.
It's not wrong.
I miss the warmth. No, yeah. But not too
I'm
hot.
done with it.
It's,
Take
like,
it away.
so hot that everything is sticky and gross. That's disgusting. But just nice and warm.
Humidity.
Yes. It's very humid.
I'm used to humidity just because I was from Malaysia, and today is actually very humid, which is not bad.
I think it's like 0 degrees here today. It's cold.
I don't even know how cold it is here.
It's cold here today too.
It's
Yeah.
3 degrees.
It's like
here.
19. It's like 19 here, so it's not bad.
That's cold for an Australian summer.
Oh yeah, because Australian summer is like 40 degrees heat. So. Great. It's great that it's 19 today.
Sam, you're all in support of the Kindle, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you
It's like the
sponsored,
question-
Sam?
It's not one of the questions here, but would you rather read a physical book or an ebook
Or an audiobook.
Ooh,
or an audiobook? Because I know what Sam's
I think
choosing.
always physical. Yeah. I think it's always physical for us.
Yeah, I'm a physical kind of gal.
Yeah, me too.
Are they sending you another Kindle?
Upgrade.
I would
Free
definitely
books
go
for
for
you.
physical books.
Yeah, physical.
There's no questions asked.
Yeah. I mean, if you could only choose one for the rest of your life, yeah, physical for sure.
Yeah.
I do love reading physically and listening to the audiobook while I read physically. That's like the best reading experience for me. But if I could only choose
Me
one,
too.
yeah. So immersive.
Definitely physical. I mean, I'm reading an ebook currently, but it's not the same.
Mm-mm. I agree.
Right, those are all of the 12 questions on the BuzzFeed's hardest.
Oh,
Rather. So
Not
some of them weren't that hard.
No.
Maybe they
Especially
oversold
the
it
paperback
by
one.
saying that it's the hardest quiz for book nerds.
So if in the comments you could like leave like really hard ones, then maybe we could do a few more and then see, because with Real Book Nerds, like maybe we could actually get hard ones.
Yeah.
Both Sams would choose the ebook, so it must be a Sam thing.
It must be a Sam thing. We should ask Sam.
But that's the other Sam. But actually, he's watching our live. I can hear it.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, why ebook over physical? Is it just like the fact that it's like small and convenient, and like you could take 1 million books everywhere with you, or like is there other hidden reasons that like I wouldn't like figure out?
Highlighting favorite quotes. I just never do that.
I do, but also in physical books. So
Yeah, I do it.
Have them?
Physical as well.
that one's practical. Yeah. When you're reading Rhythm of War on Kindle, that's so much nicer than like, wait a second.
I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to have to like prop it up on my.
You
like,
can see
on
it
a
back
cushion
there.
to support it.
Yeah. It's such a big boy. Yeah. Like nice edition.
I like reading a physical book. You get the smell, you get the feel, you get to see your progress as you read it.
Yeah. That's always the best, right? When you read and then you put your bookmark in and you close and you're like, wow. I always feel like I'm so easily like satisfied with those things. Yeah. But with Kindle, I sometimes feel like you see 1%, and then you read for like 5 years, and you're at now 3% of the book. Like,
Yeah,
why?
what is
Well, I think with Rhythm of War, that probably is accurate.
Exactly. So I was really like the first day it came out, I took a day off, right? And I read 25% of that in one day. I was like, I feel so accomplished, and it took me like 100 years to read the last 75%.
Because I read the test by Sylvain Novelle on Kindle, and that's like 100
Same.
pages, so it felt really quick because like it would go up 1% pretty much every page that I went, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm
I did that as well. That was a good book.
It was a good book. I really enjoyed it.
I feel like I get a little annoyed with Kindle just because you never get to like 100%. Like when you're done with the book, it's like at 97%. And then you have like the 3% of like other random pages. And that, for whatever reason, very much annoys me in Kindle.
I like that.
Would
I
you
feel like
rather
this is
do
a
that
personal
with
attack.
dragons or with Fae?
Ooh, that is hard.
No,
Why are
I
you
would give up.
attacking me? This is not great.
I love
I
dragons.
love
could
both
never-
dragons and fae.
I think I would give up dragon books,
Abby.
I could never.
and I think I'm going to keep the Fae.
I'm gonna get
I'll have to go
I can get
with
my
that.
free books.
Can I opt not to answer this question?
No.
So hard.
That is hard.
I
I
think
feel
I'm
like I've read more Fae books than dragon books. Maybe that's where my bias is.
I like both equally. This is not good for me.
I like dragon books and dragon stories, and I've read a lot of them, but I do feel like for what I've read so far, there's a lot more potential with Fae books for whatever reason.
I feel like
Fae.
dragons can be disappointing.
Especially older dragon books, because it's always about slaying the dragons, and that I hate. If it's about slaying dragons, then I'm gonna get rid of the books. I just want nice dragons. They're your companions, like they're there, they're cool, but not slaying them.
Oh,
Okay, for today's mood, I will say I'll pick the fae. I mean, like, I'll give up dragons and I'll pick the fae for today.
just for today.
Just for today.
You sound so salty. I love it.
Would you rather live in Westeros or Scadrial? Both of these places suck. You have to pick one.
It depends. Do I have magical abilities on Scadrial or not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
I'm
I'm a Misting or a Mistborn, then I would choose Scadrial. But yeah,
I'd probably choose Scadrial.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
There's a chance.
Scadrial.
I just don't think I want to be in Westeros at all. Like,
No.
it doesn't seem like a fun place to be.
No.
Whatever corner
Even
of
though
the
they're
world,
adorable. Yeah, even though there are dire wolves, there are still pigs get real.
Oh, I love the wolves.
Yeah, me too.
I think those were like the worst in the books, and I won't spoil it, but I think you all know what I'm talking about.
I agree.
I don't think I've read it.
But if I could have a direwolf companion, then yeah, then maybe I would choose Westeros.
Well, in Mistborn, you could have a companion as well.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it would be a direwolf, but it could be a companion of a sort.
but can you pet it?
I'm sure if they allow you to.
Yeah, that's a difficult question.
Yeah.
I have one. Which fantasy subgenre would you read for the rest of your life if you could only pick one?
Fantasy romance.
And I'd probably
It's so easy for you. It's like,
You're like, I don't need a genre. I'll just read Equitar for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'd probably be the same as Fish.
it's like the one
Abby
genre
knows.
I never
She
read.
knows.
I need to buddy read more with you guys because I never read fantasy romance except for Sarah J. Maas.
I'm the same. I don't know enough fantasy romance to read more of it, but
Okay, Ashley is with us.
Good.
You should do a fantasy romance book club. That's what you should do, and we should read.
Oh,
one.
and so Sam, yes.
there is a fantasy romance book club that one of the other YouTubers has started.
Oh, okay. See,
I want to do a recommendation video, but I need to read some more first.
More. Yeah, me too. Definitely want to do that.
Oh, and Sue as well. There's loads of us that are.
how many people like fantasy romance? I'm surprised. That's cool.
Well, it is Abby's channel.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, if this was us on Alan's channel, then I think we would get very different
Yeah, no.
answers.
Military fantasy. I would pick grimdark. If I could only choose one genre, one subgenre to read for the rest of my life, I'd probably pick grimdark.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
I
it's
can't answer
too
it.
dark for me.
Yeah, but I like that. I mean, I like when my favorite characters die. So
I just don't like the torture.
yeah, no one likes it, but you know, I roll less my eyes at torture than at like cheesy romance. So, but I do want to read.
He's asking.
Oh, yes.
I need to read
Yeah.
that one. Is it good? Did you guys like it? I don't remember.
I have to read that
Yeah.
one too.
We loved it.
Okay.
We very
have
much loved it.
Yes.
Sorry?
Loved From Blood and Ash. Very
Okay.
much looking forward to the third book. Fish, have you heard that it's now going to be a 6-book series?
What?
Yeah. I think Ina told me about it.
Yeah, she told me about it as well.
Have you guys read her backlist? Because I heard her other series are good too. I haven't read any
My
of
mom has. My mom has read her entire backlist, and I'm not kidding when I say entire.
My
Entire.
mum has read everything, Fish.
Everything.
So cool.
Like, I don't know what books she hasn't read, because you literally say a book and she has read it.
Yes, she has. She really has. Well, she hasn't read The Poppy War.
Oh,
So that's because, yeah.
one.
I told her to, so hopefully she will soon.
Does she like Equitar as much as you do?
I think she likes Throne of Glass more.
Yeah.
Just because I have more, like, personal stuff with Akatar, I think she just likes Throne of Glass more for the fantasy.
Yeah.
Right, we'll do Sam's as our last one. Would you rather read the last chapter of a book first, or have to read the last page of each chapter first?
That's awful.
I think last page of each chapter first, because I used to do that, and I don't do it anymore. That's fine.
Yeah, I'd probably go for last page of the chapter 2, because a lot of the time I might flick ahead to see like how many pages I have left in the chapter, and I don't actively like look at that page, but occasionally that's happened, like especially if I'm anticipating something to happen, and then I can like see if it's coming up. So whereas I never would read the last chapter of a book before reading it. So definitely, yeah.
I agree. Agree.
Last page of each chapter. Although that would be really annoying. Like you start a new chapter, and you're like, oh no, can't start it yet. Got to read that last page first.
And imagine it's like a 2-page chapter, then you always have to just like.
Oh, that would be great.
Like or a 1-page chapter.
Like with the Film series, like you get some very short chapters there.
Yeah. Because with long chapters, the odds are, if it's like a 40-page chapter, maybe you already have forgotten what happened on that page by the time you get to it.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
Yeah, I think it would only really work if it was really long chapters,
Mm,
which I don't really like. I like short chapters.
me too. I prefer short chapters.
I don't know if anyone has any differing opinions on that question. Ashley's just said it's a tough one.
No one wants to answer that.
Okay, well, I think that's where we'll call it for today. We're planning on doing some more games on these lovely ladies' channels over the next few months. So definitely go and check out all of their channels and videos, which will be linked below if you've not seen any of their content before. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.